Your phone buzzes. You look. Nothing important. You look again 5 minutes later anyway. Sound familiar? You already know this pattern. You've tried to fight it. You've turned off notifications, deleted apps, promised yourself tonight would be different. And yet your thumb finds the screen before your brain even decides to move it. What is actually happening in that moment? The answer isn't willpower, and it isn't laziness. The real answer is far stranger. It reaches back 3 million years, long before screens, long before language, into the exact same circuitry that once kept your ancestors alive in the dark. Here's the part almost nobody explains correctly. Your brain does not release dopamine when you get a reward. It releases dopamine when you're not sure if you're going to get one. A neuroscientist named Wolfram Schultz discovered this by studying monkeys and juice. He expected the dopamine spike to happen when the juice arrived. It didn't. The spike happened earlier, in the space of not knowing. Once the monkeys learned exactly when the juice was coming, the dopamine dropped away completely. The reward stopped mattering. The uncertainty was the whole engine. Now think about your phone. Every time you check it, you don't know what's waiting. Maybe a message. Maybe nothing. Maybe something better than you expected. That gap, that flicker of not knowing, is manufactured uncertainty, and your brain treats it exactly like Schultz's monkeys treated the juice. You are not addicted to your phone, you are addicted to the question mark. This isn't new, it's ancient. Picture your ancestors on the savannah 40,000 years ago. Every rustle in the grass carried the same uncertainty. Was it wind? Was it a predator? The humans who checked, who turned their head toward the unknown sound instead of ignoring it, survived to have children. The ones who didn't check sometimes didn't get a second chance. Uncertainty wasn't an annoyance back then, it was survival information, and your brain rewarded you for chasing it down. Your brain never got the memo that the world changed. It still treats every unread notification like a rustle in the grass. There's a psychologist who proved exactly how powerful this pull can become, decades before smartphones existed. B.F. Skinner ran an experiment with pigeons and a lever. Pigeons that got a food pellet every single time they pressed the lever eventually got bored and stopped pressing. But pigeons that got a pellet only sometimes, on no fixed schedule, pressed that lever obsessively, thousands of times, long after the food ran out. Skinner called it a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, and he considered it the most powerful behavioral pattern he ever discovered. It is, unmistakably, the same pattern behind a slot machine, and it is, unmistakably, the same pattern behind your phone. Every app on your home screen is a lever. Every scroll is a pull. Sometimes there's a pellet, a funny video, a message from someone you like, a number that went up. Most of the time there's nothing. But you keep pressing because somewhere in the ancient uncertainty-hunting part of your brain, you're still that pigeon, and you're still that ancestor checking the grass. Here's where it gets stranger. Your brain doesn't just want the reward. It wants the checking itself. Researchers studying dopamine have found that the anticipation of a reward can activate reward circuitry more strongly than actually receiving it. That's why refreshing an empty inbox can feel weirdly compelling, even when you already suspect there's nothing there. You're not checking because you expect something good. You're checking because checking itself has become the reward. Does that mean you're broken? No. It means you're extremely well designed, just for a world that no longer exists. A researcher named Robert Sapolsky, who spent decades studying stress and reward in primates, has pointed out something unsettling about modern life. The systems that once helped us survive scarcity and danger are now being triggered constantly, by design, in environments engineered specifically to exploit them. Your ancestors' brains checked the grass a few times a day, at most. Your brain checks a screen, on average, dozens of times an hour. Same wiring, wildly different frequency. The circuit hasn't changed, the trigger has been mass-produced. Think about what a notification actually is. It's a rustle in the grass, manufactured on demand, sent to your pocket by companies who have studied exactly how to make that rustle irresistible. The red dot, the buzz, the tiny number climbing upward. None of it is random. It's engineered uncertainty, built on the exact same neural loop Skinner found in his pigeons and Schultz found in his monkeys. You were never the target audience for willpower advice. You are the target audience for a very old survival mechanism repurposed at scale. So why can't you just decide to stop? Why does knowing all of this not make it easier to put the phone down? Because knowledge lives in a different part of the brain than craving does. The prefrontal cortex, the part that plans and reasons and says, "not now," is slower and weaker than the deeper reward circuitry that's been running uninterrupted since long before humans could reason at all. You can know exactly why you're reaching for your phone and still reach for it. That's not a contradiction. That's just what it means to have an ancient brain living inside a modern hand. There's a strange comfort in that, if you let there be. This isn't a personal failing carved specifically into you. It's a universal human circuit, doing exactly what it evolved to do, in an environment that didn't exist when it was built. Your ancestors weren't weak for checking the grass. They were paying attention to their world. You're not weak for checking your phone. You're paying attention to a world that has learned with frightening precision how to look exactly like danger and reward at the same time. Knowing this changes something, even if it doesn't erase the urge completely. The next time your thumb moves before you've decided anything, you can notice it. You can recognize the rustle for what it is. Not a threat, not an opportunity. Just an old patient circuit, still scanning the grass, still checking for movement, still waiting for a signal that stopped mattering the moment we stepped off the savannah and into everything else. Your phone buzzes again. You look. And this time, at least for a second, you know exactly why. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel.